Today I am going to pick up kind of where I left off last week and going up to the end of the Goat Rock Trail and head over to the Upper Dogwood Trail. So I'm starting at the parking lot where I ended up last week, and it's going to be a little bit of an up climb to get to the trees, but it's only like 79 degrees today or this morning, and humidity's not too bad, but the hike's going to take me around to the shady side of the mountain on the west side, and you can kind of see where I'm leaving. Over my shoulder this way is the shelter that I stayed at on mini breaks on my last ones. So I'm going to go on up here and see what this would kind of sort of pick up where I left off. And I knew this was going to be uphill because it was downhill when I came back last time. That's good. I'll get this out of the way and we'll see what the Dogwood Trail is all about. Hiked last week, and it's a really nice morning today, so hopefully it won't be too bad. And I'll catch more video on the flip side. Well, that was interesting. On my way up to this overlook where I'm going to start out, came across another hiker, and she was just talking away on her cell phone to her sister, I guess, it sounded like. And all the way up there, she was just talking, and she didn't have a inside voice. She had her outside voice on, out in all this. Go figure. So I'm sitting there going, hoping to goodness she wasn't going to go down the same trail I was going to go down. And fortunately, she didn't. She had a friend up here that was waiting on her, so they took off down the road path, and I'm going to go down this path here. So go down the Goat Rock Trail just a hair, catch up with the Dogwood Trail. And the Dogwood Trail is going to take me, where's my pole? Alright, so the Dogwood Trail I'm going to pick up just over this way, and it's going to take me down this way. So looking forward to that. That was a pretty steep little climb coming up there. I mean, for me it is. And I'm glad it was, oh, it's just beautiful out there. It's just gorgeous. And so head out that way and see what happens. But you can see how pretty it is out there. And this is the overlook for the Goat Rock Trail. So this is where I ended my last hike down the road. I just came up to the truck, and so I came back up so I could pick up where I left off. And then I'm going to go around the back side of this. I'm going to go back around this way. And Dogwood Trail, I think it's only about 1.7. When I get to where the Lower Dogwood ties in, seeing how I'm feeling, and I'll decide whether I want to do that one as well. So we'll catch you a little bit. Well, I noticed a little side trail. I got down to where the Dogwood ties in and came across this little side trail and had this little outlook made. So glad I stepped over here real quick to see this. It's really, really pretty. Let's walk down here. I just grabbed the camera and held it by hand instead of putting on my stick pick, because I'm not going to stay here long. Just wanted to jump over here and check out this. Very, very pretty. I don't know if those two rocks that's where the path came down through, so I don't know if it's made like that or someone put them like that, but either way, it's real pretty. Just getting on the Dogwood Trail, and already I can tell, because I'm on the back side, or on the west side of the mountain, I guess, that it is much cooler. And I think that's because, well, the sun hadn't got over here yet this morning, and I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of sun peeking in through the trees because it's behind me, but this is much shadier. And I can tell a big difference in the temperature on the backside. Now, because I'm doing this trail in the morning. If I waited and did this trail in the afternoon or evening, this is the side that would be getting the sun. So I'm going to turn around so the sun's behind me. You can see it reflected through, but the trail going down behind me, not sure if you could tell it, but it is much, much shadier going down that way. And it's going downhill, so that means I'll be going uphill on the way back, but that's all right. This stays like this. This is nice. I have to admit, you gotta like the shade. Now, if this is wintertime, I bet I would appreciate the sun more, but you can kind of tell the more I'm going down the Dogwood Trail here, the sun's kind of going away a little bit, just peeking through a little bit, but getting much more shady back here as I'm going down. Sun's getting behind the ridge, but this is nice and cool back here, but it seems a little bit more isolated, but I think it's because it's on the back side of the mountain, whereas the other side is more where the downtown area is, so you get a little bit more of the noise from downtown. Let me cut it over this way so you can cut some of the sun from peeking through. This is real pretty. Seems to be more shade, more undergrowth, I guess. This is nice. So far, every part of the different trails I've taken here, everyone's been unique to itself, which is nice. And that's kind of what you look for when you go hiking. You don't want to see the same thing over and over again. A little bit of variety, and just a short part of how small this is. This is nice. All right, we'll catch you later. Well, just kind of hiking along here, and all my geocaching buddies, well, there's a perfect spot for one. It's right on the trail, so it'd be very obvious what it was. But that's the direction I'm going, and I came across that bench right there. So it's man-made, it's concrete, so with this being a national park, probably the ranger service built it so that hikers back here could have a place to sit down and rest a few. That's the direction I came from. So I'm not going to stop and break, even though it's been just a slight uphill. I'm feeling fine, don't need a break, and that bench is really low to the ground. Better than sitting on a log, I guess. It might have bugs all over it, but that's part of nature. Get out and enjoy it. So, still in the shade a little bit, but the sun's starting to come across the ridge up over my left shoulder here. Feeling good so far. We'll see what the Lower Dogwood Trail looks like. I think it goes all the way down to the Arlington, or close to it. Not 100% sure. And I'm looking to see the other trails have had paint markings on the trees, or blazes as they would call them, and they've all been different color so that you could distinguish which trail you're on. But so far, not that I've really been looking for them, but they usually kind of stand out. And here on the Dogwood, the Upper Dogwood Trail, I haven't seen any. So maybe this is the unmarked trail. With this stick pick on the end of my trekking pole, got to get used to holding it up at a little bit more of an angle so you can kind of see the trail and what's going on instead of looking at my beautiful mug the whole time. Although I am gorgeous, I know. Anyway, I think I am. Alright, I'm starting to rattle. Yeah, been on the trail too long. It's been at least 15 minutes. Alright, enough of the comedy routine. There's enough comics in the world. Just check out the politics. Sorry, did I say that out loud? That's alright. Okay, we'll turn this one off, and there's a nice, I guess it's a little ridge line right there. So I don't see anything going up past it. Didn't realize that's close. The ridgeline must be coming down as I'm going down. Alright, turn this off and turn it on a little bit later. Well, just as I made a comment about blazes, not seeing any, I get some on both sides of the trail. The dogwood has like yellow, gold markings. There's one on that tree, as well as one on this tree. Not sure if you can see it. There it is. And coming right up on the intersection of where the lower dogwood ties in with the upper dogwood. See what this says on here if I can get it. There we go. I don't know if that's coming in backwards for you or not. It looks backwards to me. But anyway, so one goes down that way. The lower dogwood down to the Arlington Trail is 0.4 miles down that way. Looks like they got green blazers on that one. And here, this is where the lower dogwood, this goes down. This is still the upper dogwood. But this goes down to where the lower dogwoods will loop around and tie into it. There is a sign right there, I believe is where it's at. So now, not really a place to sit down and take a break, but I'll probably stand here and eat my energy bar. And this is the direction from which I came. It's down that way. So this is a ridge line right here. So the lower dogwood, I guess, keeps up its name and goes lower down. So now I'll determine whether I want to go down that way or not. I'll check out my map and then I'll decide which way I want to go. But very pretty up here. Absolutely no breeze. None whatsoever. It's a good thing I was in the shade the whole time. Alright. Well, I made the decision to go ahead and go down the lower dogwood. I may regret this. First time I took a break, there wasn't a place to sit back there. First time I've taken a break of just kind of eating my trip. Oh, said it had to change over to my SD card, which is fine. It's got more memory on it anyway. But gotta love my water platter. But yeah, anyway, going downhill, the dogwood, lower dogwood is, which I kind of thought it would, but that's where I've been. I'm going down that way. Not sure if you can tell the grade. It's a pretty good little grade. So I'm going to have to come back up this. But I figured, well, I'm here. There's no breeze, but the temperature's not bad because the sun's over on that side. And it hasn't got hot over here yet. And as I walk, I've got my new wicking shirt on from Mountain Hardware. I really like this shirt, it's nice. New shorts as well, which are also wicking. And what I like about these is I got a pair that, sorry for the details, but it has the brief sewn in with it with the same mesh. So that way I don't have to worry about wearing cotton briefs, which I learned real quickly. And I've seen so much stuff on YouTube and stuff about cotton, but that's just kind of what I've been my whole life with. Oh, but I saw somebody behind me. And but man, these make a difference. So enjoying it. This is the lower dogwood. Other than going downhill a little bit steeper, it's much like the upper dogwood. And if I knew my trees better, I'd probably realize which one of these are dogwoods. But very pretty, very nice. So just thought I'd catch you up that I did decide to go down the lower dogwood, and we'll see how much I pay for it on the way back up. Well, let me see. Do I want to go to the Arlington Trail, or do I want to go to the Arlington Trail? I want the Lower Dogwood is what I want, but I'm pretty sure it's up that way, because this will take me down to the Arlington Hotel, I believe. And I just looked at my map and it curls back around, so I'll be heading back up that way. Not sure if you can see the difference. I'll back up. But definitely that's going way downhill and that's going uphill. But looking forward to it. So far so good. So got about, I think, 4/10 of a mile back up to the Upper Dogwood. And that's really going to put me pretty close to being done, I think. So I'll spin around this way, show which way I came from. And yes, that's all uphill, but that's from where I came. So, all right, well, I'm gonna go that way. Well, on my way from the floral trail where it came across the Lower Dogwood, on my way up to the Upper Dogwood, I came across, if you can see it or not, a nice little bench. So I decided to sit down and take a load off for a little bit. First time I've sat down since I've been on the trail. I ate some gnats flying around. Wildlife, don't you just love it? So this is the first time I've taken a sit-down break. I've stopped to drink water and hooked the camera up to the tripod, not tripod, but to the stick pick and onto my trekking pole. And so if you're willing, let me sit down and take a load off for just a little bit and get some shots up and down the trail. Glad I came on. I mean, yeah, it's uphill and I can feel it, but I'm glad I decided to come on. Added a rag to my loop on my pack so I can wipe my hands down and clean up a little bit. It makes a big difference. Glad I got that. My Camelback, love this thing. I can just drink water as I'm going, which makes a ton of difference. Sometimes you just get thirsty. I'm not limber enough to reach all the way around to get. I've got a 1 liter bottle of water with me as well as backup, but I'm just not limber enough to pull it out. I could get it out, but it's getting the bottle back in the pack, and the hole that it's in is the trick. So gotta love this, and so I can tell that I'm getting on the side with the sun coming in because it's warmer over here than it was on the other side. And I think I only have about 5/10 of a mile to go until I'm done, but not 100% sure. Looked at the maps. Very different. I don't think these trails might be used as much. Although I have seen more hikers today than I have on previous days. I've actually passed 3 or 4 groups. Well, I say groups, 2 to 3 people. And but it's nice. Just kind of say hi and keep on going. And guess I need to get on the move so these gnats will leave me alone. But that's kind of, I don't know if you can see the bench that way or not, but this was actually tall enough to make it comfortable to sit on. My clothes on. It's kind of cool little, I saw this coming up, so I figured I'd get the camera out, not putting it on the selfie stick, just kind of holding it. Kind of neat the way it curves around. Probably a little bit more jumpy this way because I'm just holding it in my hand instead of holding it on the stick. But this is heading up to intersection where I think it's like my first hike through here on the mountaintop trail. It's going to be up here pretty close. There's a yellow blaze. And glad I sat down back there because that was a steep climb for me coming up. And so I'm glad I sat down and took a load all of it. Yeah, I can see right up here. Again, sorry about the jumpiness. But I can tell this is where I believe I'm coming up on the mountaintop trail. Because I went down, if it's the same one, I don't know if you can see the trail right down there past that dead log tree. But That was my first hike. That was the back half of it. And I believe I took a picture looking back up this way saying, okay, I'm going downhill and that way's uphill. So let me see if this is where I think it is. See what this sign says. Lower Dogwood, 3 miles, yep. And come right down here. Hot Springs Mountain Trail. Yep, Honeysuckle Trail. Yep, so this is, I can see a blue blaze on the tree right down there. So this is where I came down my first time. Ooh, score, a bench. But I'm alright, I'm gonna keep on going. But now I'm not that far from the truck. And going back up this way, and I'll do one when I get to the end. Yep, I'm coming up on the end. I could see daylight, and back to where I started this morning. Feeling good. There's more uphill, pretty good uphill there. Not sure if you can see it, but there's the old truck. Always a nice sight to see. So, coming up out of the trail. See this concrete? That's a tease. Alright. And right across there is the shelter on the first couple hikes of where I would stop and take a break. None of those on today's trip. But there she is. The old truck. And that's from where I just came. Thanks for following along.